Welcome back at WNST, Towson, Baltimore, and Baltimore Positive. We're trying to stay calm through all of this, and we're keeping it local. Nothing more local here than my next guest and a longtime friend of mine. He's thrown parties around the city, and I always see him in a fun suit, and there's usually some booze and something to eat, and it says drink, eat, relax. DrinkEatRelax.com is the website. You are familiar with all the beer, the bourbon, the barbecues, the festivals. I've been to some of these things. I'm getting a little older, so it's not like a Preakness where there are some pictures that I wouldn't want circulating, Greg. But Greg Nivens is here from the Trigger Agency. But more than that, drink, eat, relax. And, I mean, you've been throwing parties around here. And the one thing I know about your parties, they involve large groups of people gathering. And much like baseball, football, basketball, lacrosse, everything else, church, everything we have going on, we're in shutdown mode, and you can't have a festival without people, Greg, right?
You got we're definitely in the business of bringing people together, and the fun times that you have when you socialize with other people and large groups of them. Our average festival probably draws about probably 3,000 or 4,000 people. That's probably what our normal average festival is. So yeah, on the 16th of March, when the governor basically put us out of business, it was not a very kind way to wake up that day. It's very interesting to watch everything go on and to try to just live in a world that you really can't do your job, you can't do what you do every day you've done for 20 years, and it's interesting. It's an interesting time we're in.
Well, I've talked to everybody about this for crisis management, and give everybody your background. How did you wind up here, and how did Drink, Eat, Relax, and all these Chesapeake oyster, wine, beer, crab, food, reggae? I mean, you've done every kind of festival. I feel like I've been to 6 or 7 different kinds of brands that you've had. You don't just do these here. You are a regional, organization. I don't know if a lot of people know that. If you're friends with you see you down in Charlotte, or we'll see you in Atlanta. We'll see you in places doing what you do here. But I don't know how you came to do this. Honestly, I don't know where you came from. I know you have great suits.
Yeah, I'm sure my wife will bury me one day in one of those suits. Unfortunately, I started a long time ago. I was in the food industry. I worked with Domino's Pizza. My goal was to franchise a Domino's Pizza group of stores, and I never could find the stores that I really wanted to purchase. But when I worked for Domino's Pizza, I ran the pizza stores down in New Orleans. Now, if anybody has ever been to New Orleans, that is a crazy fun town. There are literally festivals every weekend. And I worked in the Superdome. We had stores in the Superdome. And so we would gear up to sell a lot of pizza for, let's say, a football game, an NFL game, or whatever. And then we would gear back down. And that project-based management is kind of how I got stuck in the event business. I really loved it.
So like the Rolling Stones are playing, how many pizzas are we going to sell in the Superdome tonight? Let's order the right amount of dough and sauce and cheese. And if we don't, then we could still use it 3 days. Like all of that. Ordering and purchasing and getting people in and out and selling them things in 3 hours or less, right?
Exactly. It's all about speed, correct ordering logistics, and handling the pulse of it when it comes at you, when that wave comes at you. That's where the high comes when you're dealing with events, is, that people are there and you want to really service them the best you can. So then my wife was from this area. She grew up in Annapolis. And so we ended up moving back here when I didn't find any stores I wanted to purchase. And so I went to work for the guys that ran the auto show and the boat show in Baltimore. And then we started there, and then I branched off from there and kept going, and then built the Baltimore Women's Show, which a lot of people probably don't know. Some people still remember. We did it out at the fairgrounds for 5 or 6 years. And that went really well. We did those all over the country. I sold that just because it was the right time. And then we started doing what my passion was, which was wine. I love wine, and so we did wine festivals. And then since I'm from North Carolina, we started doing them in North Carolina. And then, of course, we started the Beer, Bourbon, and Barbecue Festival because I missed all the things I was used to imbibing and eating in North Carolina. And then that took off, and we, right now we currently, we still do 25 events from New York to Florida annually. It's just kind of in this moment right now, we've postponed over 6 of our events.
Well, it's springtime, right? I mean, this is when everything's going to blossom in March, April, and May. The Preakness, opening day, March Madness, lacrosse game, like all that, right? That's graduations, all that's sitting there that's gone, right?
Yeah, it's, I mean, baseball is such a, it's such a daily kind of thing. I mean, baseball just kind of goes and goes and goes and goes every day, any day, could be any time. Football in the fall, basically the NFL owns Sunday. And in the fall, they own the Sunday. So you have the springtime when you can do festivals. And the festivals, a lot of people like to come out and have a good time because they're not tailgating. They're not, half of their weekends usually not taken up. And so this has taken a big chunk out of a lot of people's entertainment, a lot of people's release from life. I mean, I definitely think we're a stress relief for people. A lot of people's fun. People want to get together. People want to see others. I mean, extroverts like myself, we want to touch and hug and see other people. And to have me cooped up in my house for however many days is painful. I mean, it's definitely painful. And then we have all the logistics that you put together. People think we throw events together, but it takes us a year to put an event together. And then when you say the only thing that it's sitting on is it's sitting on a date, and that date is, ready to go. I mean, that is solid and it's ready. We'll go if it's raining. We'll go if it's sunny. It doesn't matter, but that date is solid. And then when you take the date away and you move the date, now we have to start back from scratch, but I don't have a year to do it. I have 3 months or 4 months, however long we've postponed it to. And so
you're stuck in quicksand right now because you really can't do anything, right? I mean, everything is now about essential and thinking about fun right now. It's nice to do, but it's not the reality of where we are, right?
Oh, no. And it affects so many people. I mean, our company, is affected for sure. I mean, all of my staff and our whole team of people are laid off at home, basically unemployed at this time. But you have all of these other companies that participate in our shows, mom and pop small businesses.
All of them.
The guy that sells hot sauce, the guy that, sells his barbecue griddle thing. All of those guys, they depend on this. This is their livelihood. They go every week from show to show to show all around the country. And none of these people are able to get any income. And if you can't get any income, you can't live. How are you going to eat? That's the work for me. The worst part is the effect on those people. And as far as our guests are concerned, we do have guests. I mean, I have guests that come to our events from Australia. They come from all over the world. But we have a lot of guests that will, they'll fly from Pittsburgh or Ohio. They'll come to our events, and our events are a central piece of some entertaining weekend. And they bought plane tickets, and they bought hotels. And, I just hope they get their money back. And that they can redo it for the next weekend whenever we, reschedule the thing. It's
well, I mean, I'm sitting on Stones tickets and Pearl Jam tickets, all of that stuff, right? And people are sitting on Orioles tickets, and heck, it's been a long time since I thought about March Madness or basketball or whatever, but everyone has had to make an adjustment. I put a status up this morning and said, who's the first person you're going to hug when you can? And when's the next time you think you're going to hug somebody you haven't hugged? You know what I mean? Is it going to be days, weeks, months? I mean, it's definitely going to be days, definitely going to be weeks at this point. Greg Nivens is here. He is is Drink, Eat, Relax. You know about his festivals, Baltimore Whiskey Festival, Beer, Bourbon, Barbecue, Das Best Oktoberfest that we participated in last year down in the stadium parking lot. You can find them at drinkeatrelax.com. Greg's office is right off 83. And, I guess more than anything, the crisis management side of how do we dust off and pick ourselves back up and best practices. I think the most important thing we can all do right now is just make sure none of us contract this thing, right?
Oh, we gotta stay healthy. Got to stay healthy to survive, and survival then is the key. The key is that you make it to tomorrow, and there's a lot of people in the restaurants in town. That's what they're going to be doing. They're going to be in survival mode. We are all in survival mode. Can we survive? It's can you make it to the next day? And hopefully you'll make it to the next day. And then once you get past that, then it just gets better and better and better. But you see, this is the problem. You give me this idea. Now I think we need to have a hug festival.
Ooh, a hug-a-thon. There you go. I got a hug. There it is. I mean, I get 10% of that, right?
Yeah, you definitely get 10% of that. I'm thinking a hug festival, downtown maybe. That could be really good.
Nestor, free hugs. I see the sign.
Hugs.
Listen, take care of yourself. I just wanted to reach out, give you a hug, a virtual hug as best I can. I love your festivals. I appreciate your partnership over all these years. Really appreciate that beer you bought me at the Garden during the ELO show a couple years ago. I know I returned the favor with a crab cake at Fadley's recently. So at some point, you and I will get together and have a crab cake and a cocktail, and we'll get together and hopefully this will all be behind us at some point. But I just wanted to let you know we're thinking of you, and we're going to be supporting you on the other side of this, all right?
Well, appreciate that, and thank you for that. I really appreciate that very much. The only thing I can say for people out there is just hope. Have lots of hope, because that's what's going to get us through. A lot of hope. Keep up the good work.
You got it. There he is. Greg Nivens, Trigger Agency. You know them. Drink, eat, relax. He throws parties where you eat and you drink and you relax and you have a good time. I've been to many of them. Find them at drinkeatrelax.com. And we're leaving the light on for all the Baltimore businesses around here. We're keeping calm. We're staying local. And we're trying to stay Baltimore positive. We are WNST.net, AM 1570, and Baltimore Positive. More ahead. Conversations of inspiration and hope. Stay with us.